Okay, let's get back to Parliament TV.
And actually started to close, so no. No, you can don't hear what you heard. I've given the call to Mr. Bates.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your generosity this evening. And I think, Mr. Chair, this sort of demonstrates my concern about the commencement date, that businesses have a lot going on, Mr. Chair, and throughout businesses that are trying to grow the salaries and the wages of their employees by becoming more productive, by growing the New Zealand economy, by being able to do the stuff that actually puts money in the pockets of New Zealanders, Mr. Speaker. I'm concerned about the timing of the commencement. This date of commencement, the Act comes into force on the day after the date on which it receives the royal assent. This could be any given random day in the business week, Mr. Speaker, or in the business month, or indeed, I suppose, in the business year. And I think that there would be value, Mr. Chair, in giving some consideration to a timing of a commencement date that more appropriately reflected the times or the business cycle of the business year, the life cycle, if you like, of business. And there are a number of dates that become the life cycle of business. One particular date is the start of the financial year. And I wonder, Mr. Chair, whether the member would be willing to give consideration to commencing the bill on the first day of a new financial year. That gives an opportunity for communication around this change to effectively go out to all employers so that they are clear on this additional burden to their job as employers that the opposition has put on them. Because let's be clear, Mr. Chair, it will be the opposition and friends, if this goes through this evening, that put this on. But, Mr. Chair, if it is the case that this bill goes through this evening, that timing that aligns to a date that employers are going to be able to be communicated effectively that that's the start date. Now, the first of this financial year, being the 1st of April 2025, is probably too soon, given by the time this goes through, gets royal assent, and then actually, goes through the administrative process, and then we've got to communicate it out. So, in that regard, the supplementary question to my question would be: would the member consider aligning this, if it was to pass, for the commencement to be the 1st of April 2026? So that, first of all, it is aligned, as I've said, Mr. Chair, with the life cycle of the business year, and that naturally sits at the start of the financial year, being the 1st of April. And then secondly, allowing sufficient time for not only the communication out of this House to get through to employers through appropriate different channels, but also for HR practitioners to get the appropriate upskilling and uptraining, because the opposition always, Mr. Chair, go on about the importance of people being upskilled, professional development when there is a change. This is a change for HR practitioners to be aware of, and it's important they have the opportunity for professional development so that they are clear on this change before it goes into action, into commencement. So, Mr. Chair, as I say, aligning it both with the business life cycle, the start of the financial year, and ensuring sufficient time for employers to be made aware and for the support that they have, because in this country right now, if you are trying to drive productivity up, you need all the support you can get, and many employers, small businesses and the like across this nation use HR practitioners to support the implementation of their HR policies. And so, Mr. Chair, I would encourage the member to consider both of those commencement questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Camilla Belich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I thank the member for his contributions. I just have some responses to that, and also some things that were not really part of the title section that he and colleagues mentioned that I thought I could comment on briefly. In terms of the drafting of the Select Committee being deficient, he is a member of that Select Committee. He has the numbers by majority on that Select Committee. So if there's any issue with the drafting, then he is, if not just as responsible as myself, more so. So I would like maybe for him to reflect on his comments in relation to that. Additionally, the Select Committee changes were agreed unanimously with, in fact, his vote. The issue that he reflected on with a mishap in banking is definitely not covered by this Act. This bill. This bill covers intentional theft, not mistakes, not mishaps, not people being forgetful, intentional theft. And that links to his suggestion that the commencement should be delayed. This is not an administrative burden additional to what employers already have to deal with. Employers should currently not be stealing from their employees. They should not be taking money from the people who work for them. This is already an obligation. What we are looking at with this bill is to simply make it an option for police or other prosecution services to, in cases where it meets the prosecution guidelines, take action against what I suspect would be the very worst employers in New Zealand. And also to reflect on some of the comments that this isn't a widespread issue. Unfortunately, in some communities and for some people, this is a widespread issue. For our most vulnerable workers, they often have employers taking from their wages. We heard Abraham Omar, the first person who brought this bill to the House in the 53rd Parliament, speak of 2 examples that he had suffered himself of wage theft. This is an insidious, common problem in New Zealand, and we shouldn't tolerate it. So I reject the suggestion around the change to commencement. Day after royal assent is a standard legislative format, and for this type of bill, which addresses an existing wrong and doesn't require any additional thought by employers who should already not be stealing, I don't consider it's justified. Additionally, I commend the member Vanessa Wiener for her her good Google search in relation to the word theft, but it is well understood and defined in the Crimes Act, so I believe it's the appropriate word to use in this instance.
Mr. Chair, Grant McCullum.
Okay.
Wow, that was so bad that it crashed my PC. Thanks, National.
Okay, so while everyone else is here sitting there doing this, I will address one thing. Yes, I completely agree with you, Kiwi Skirt. It's unparliamentary. Need a commencement date to stop being able to steal wages from your employee being an administrative burden.
Oh, but please, I want extra time to overwork my workers.
Imagine if they sat there and did this, go, you know what? We're going to make murder illegal on the 1st of April, but if you kill someone on the 31st of March, you're not going to be held accountable for your actions. How do you think that's going to go down?
Oh, they're just little wee birthday boys. They need extra time to exploit their workers, overwork them and underpay them.
Yeah, and why are you suggesting the 1st of April 2026? Is that what you're going to sit down there and have National come around and go, look, we made wage theft illegal and criminal. How about you vote for us? You know, yes, Camilla Belich is a National MP now, not Labour.
Mm.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook.